What's up, guy? We're motherfucking back, baby.
We are back. Who's excited?
I'm so excited. I'm drinking red wine.
I couldn't fucking believe that.
I know.
When I saw that shit, I said, "This is a real comeback."
You call me a fancy bitch.
Fancy bitch. There's fucking two white girls talking at the white picket fence.
Yeah, so I was like, at the
So I dropped my
cosmetologist the other
Stanley and
day.
it dented, and I was like,
Oh, that's a
"Oh
better
my
one.
god,
That's a better one. That's better. Yeah. You
I
win.
mean,
You win.
I got my white girl down pretty good.
Yeah, you do. Mine is like, my filler is migrating in my lips, and
Oh
that's
my
the one I hear all the time.
migrating in my lips.
Oh my god. Well, guy, we're
What's up?
back. Why are we back? Why are
Because it
we
was
back?
because it was time.
It's been over a year.
It's been over a year. Oh
It
my
was like
god.
January 23rd or something. I was looking yesterday when I was getting all of our accounts back up and running.
28th, who's counting? I mean,
28th. There you go. Okay.
it's actually been,
A year and 2 months.
387 days.
Yeah.
I'm just
Insane.
kidding. I don't know.
We're what? A year and 2 months almost to the day.
It's a long 14 months not to be on a pod.
I know. I've had a lot.
So-
I need to
So
vent.
let's get into that. Let's get into that a little bit. Like, what was it like when it was over for you?
I mean, it was sad. It was definitely sad, but I'm not gonna lie, like I figured we'd pick it back up at some point in time. But like I just got married. You guys were married for what, 6 months at that point. It's like
Yeah.
we had shit going on, but didn't mean we kept going up with our Instagrams. I was still doing the YouTube stuff. It's not like we stopped doing what we were doing, but this was like, I think maybe we had like a cadence that we might not have been able to keep up with now.
Right.
I mean, we can get into like the new version, Blunt Instruments 2.0, which is not really much different. Just we're gonna
Blunt
like,
Instruments returns.
we're gonna make episodes when we have the time. But yeah, I mean, kept doing the same stuff. I mean, we saw each other at Gather All. Nothing really changed. Just we didn't carve out time to. And you know what though? I know we've talked about this when it comes to Instagram accounts and YouTube's. When there's no movie, it is difficult, and you kind of you don't want to get caught in that like,
That
there's no
awkward-
movies.
Yeah,
like there's no movies, so I don't have the content. Yeah, but for a podcast, it's kind of different. When we both have Instagrams and YouTube, it's kind of like you really need 3 different outlets to talk about the same stuff. So
I just missed you, guy. I mean, honestly,
Missed
like
you too, man.
I mean, not saying like you died out of my life. It just, I looked forward to our chats, and I always listen to them after they come out. Like I'm a fan too. Like it's fun to like kind of see it from listeners' perspective, and it was just like it was fun. We were just chatting, normal chatting, and I'm just like, dude, I miss doing that. And all of a sudden, it turned into, you want to do it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like a half a
fast.
second conversation, and we didn't even talk to each other on the phone for that purpose.
No.
What I thought was kind of interesting was just how many people actually like this podcast.
I
A
know.
lot of people were bummed out, and I've had messages, and I've had friends send me, episodes that
Yep.
they're re-listening to. Like, I could not believe that.
I had
That
some
was
guy
unreal.
during Christmas ask me, like, like, why'd you guys stop recording? I'm like, like we kind of said. And he's like, I just started listening to this during my Christmas holiday, and I listened to every episode during it. I was like, that's a
Oh,
lot of episodes.
I know.
So I was like,
Some
yeah,
good,
I was
some
like,
bad.
thank you. I don't know what to say to that. I'm just like, shit. But no, I'm glad we're back. Like this is great. And one of the new things about coming back is we're not going to just talk about everything James Bond. There are going to be some current events we're going to kind of throw in their hot topics. I know we kind of have a few picked out for this particular episode, but just evolving on what we've already done before.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be a good time. But of course, with that, naturally, let's talk about James Bond.
Let's get into it.
Perfect
Let's get
segue. We're
into
not gonna
Bond.
talk just about Bond. Let's talk about Bond.
Let's talk about
Um,
Bond.
I think this is probably the reason you started thinking about it, and then I think I told you I actually made a little, episode of a solo Bond's Apartment podcast in the car. It turned out like shit. It was unreleased. It's only about 3 days old, but I was like, "Yeah, that's just not the same. I need somebody to riff off of." So, I mean, I think the hottest topic right now is the Aaron Taylor Johnson speculation. And we may have spoken about this before, but let's look at it from a different angle. There's been no talk whatsoever about anything. And then this just ramps up really quickly. It was weird because it was posted by like the Sun or whoever it was, and then picked
Yeah.
up by everybody. And like the one thing I told a couple people, which was interesting to me, was there was no deviation from the story. It was like he has been offered, he will sign this week, then they'll work on an announcement. It was not like, like that game Telephone where it kind of gets like, you know,
Misconstrued along the
fucked up. Yeah,
way.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, I mean, as much as I was kind of in disbelief, I was like, I don't know, maybe there's some truth. Where were you at when what was your mindset?
I mean, it was funny because, like, people started reaching out to me. I started getting messages, and it was like, you know, ATJ, and I was like, for a minute, I'm like, "What the fuck is this ATJ?" I
Like,
was like,
don't you mean TMJ?
I'm like, "Wait a minute. Do you mean Atlanta, like ATL?" I'm like trying to figure everything out, and I'm like,
Mhm.
"I don't understand because there's no context. All it was like, "ATJ, what do you think?" And I'm like, "Sure." I
Right,
don't know how to
right.
respond to it. So when I finally figured it out, I got to the point where I was like, let me do my own,
Due diligence.
investigative journalism here and
Mhm.
find out if this shit's legit." And then the first thing I see is the Sun, pop up as the source, and I was just like, "Yep, just another fucking Tuesday for this guy." Like,
Right,
don't give a shit. Like, okay, someone's bored. Someone's
right.
trying to stir the pot. So that was kind of like my initial reaction. But I will say this: there was an article that came out the next day. It was Peter Brooker's from Taylor's with Love email,
Mhm.
and in there he kind of talked about, like, we've seen this before. Like, don't get your hopes up yet. Like,
Right.
don't use the Sun as your main source of information. And I was just like, preach, child, preach. Like, it's funny,
Right.
us vets kind of have figured that out, through our dealings. But yeah, what about you, man? How was it like when you were getting like blasted with
Yeah, I
people
mean,
asking?
yeah, I got a few of those messages, and I actually replied. I remember one very clearly, my friend Cameron, and I said, I think I was just like, "That's the rumor." But what was weird to me too was, like, even if you open like Snapchat, it was
Yeah.
like the first thing in their like little, you know, like story page. I was just it was everywhere. It was surprisingly everywhere
Yep.
and like nothing post Daniel Craig has been like that. Like I think I can't think of something catching fire that fast and in so many different places. Like it was and like, yes, like I said, feeding off of the Sun, but like New York Times, like people, like you know what I mean? Everything believed it. And I mean, I guess in this moment, we still don't know if it's true or not. I mean, I think we can both agree, probably not, but nobody's said it's not true.
Right. Right. And again, if the sources were a little different, like, there's certain places I trust their word, and that's like Variety or,
Mhm, mhm.
Esquire, or,
Hollywood
like
Reporter. Yeah, yeah.
a legit source when you hear one.
Right,
Could
right.
they be right? Absolutely, they could be right, but until I hear it from a source like that or from the horse's mouth, Eon,
Mhm.
why even go down that path of, feeling that way,
Right.
So, I think he's a good pick. If it's him, I'd be fine. Like, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
be
mean,
upset about it.
yeah, I would pick him. I would pick him over Henry Cavill, but I will bring somebody else up in a second. But one other thing I want to ask you too about that is, um, the whole, one of the things I said to, I think probably either Mr. Kyle Barbeau or Mr. David Zaritsky was the way that Eon handles things like this. And like we can go we hate it, love it. I mean, everybody kind of hates it, but because we just want answers, right? But
Right.
it's like you'll see Barbara Broccoli at something and some rinky dink like not the New York Times, not the Post, it's like
Yeah.
some B-level publication will say, any news on the new Bond? And she'll be like, no, no. I mean, it's like we've seen it's the only thing in cinema where they have a full on like flying across the Thames here. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, even Tom Holland said he found out he was Spider-Man like on the news before they even called him. You know what I mean? It's like
That's
nothing
right.
else does it like that. So for me, the point I'm trying to make is you're talking like if somebody asks her, she's not telling you shit unless she wants to tell you the way she wants to tell you.
That's true. I
You know what
mean,
I
it
mean?
really is.
Yeah, so unless, like, she's doing a full-on press release or something along those like, unless it's an Eon, like, "Everybody come to Pinewood, guess what?" Or, like, they do, like, a whole expose, like, you are not hearing it. Prime
Yeah.
example, him going through Daniel Craig going through radio, 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 radio. "Are you coming back? You come back." "No, no, 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 no." Then goes to Stephen Colbert. I've done 20 interviews today. I've lied to them all because I wanted to tell you I'm coming back. Like it's very calculated.
Oh,
So
100%.
they could interview her tomorrow and she could say, nope, no truth to it. And 2 hours later, it could come out that it's true officially. So there is no that's like good and bad. It's like there is no way to know for sure, like you said, unless it comes straight from the horse's mouth, which is a little, I don't know, for me, it's annoying.
I mean, I get it. They wanna control their IP, and they wanna do, they wanna do it the right way, which is
Mhm.
make a moment of it.
Right.
It just
Which it
for
should
God's
be.
which, yeah, but
It
for
should
God's
be.
sakes,
Yeah.
like, cut his hair the way it's gonna be in the movie. Make him look like fucking Bond. Like,
Right.
don't do this shit where you just let him roll up, like, who he as he is in his regular life, and you're not gonna do the Bond shit. Like,
Right.
if you're gonna wait this long, at least let that fucker walk out, like, with an Omega on and a full,
Mhm. Mhm.
Tom Ford suit, or, Turnbull and Astor shirt, or whatever they're gonna do. Like, do it right. Like, just give the full appearance. So that way, at least, some people won't be like, well, he doesn't look like Bond. Of course he doesn't look like Bond. They
Right.
haven't done the Bond treatment to him yet,
Right. So,
so
perfect segue then, and I told you this on the phone the other day. When they when this broke, I was actually, "What the fuck is that?"
happy birthday. For those listening, a bunch of balloons just floated by Luke's
I
face
might
on the
post this on
camera.
YouTube too, so the lucky people who watched on YouTube are gonna be like, "What in the fucking hell?"
Oh my god, it was so random. How'd you do
I
that?
think that's one too.
Is
Oh,
it?
whatever.
How do you make the
Watch it happen.
balloons go? You do this?
All I did
Or
was
is this
that.
milking the cow?
Um, so so I said to you though, I was like, when this came out, I was actually kind of bummed because I had then seen White Lotus season 2 and am almost done with The Gentleman, and I think Theo James is by far my number one pick. I mean, and this is like you said, this is a guy they don't have to do shit to, and he looks the part. I mean, and you're talking even Ian Fleming's Bond. Not to
Damn.
mention, he's already got, I think, an ambassadorship or something with Omega. Any interview he does, he's wearing like a Speedy or something like that. I mean, White Lotus, he had a Rolex on, but his character that kind of fit the bill
Yeah,
for his character.
the
But
role.
yeah, I mean, he does that like variety actor on actor. He's wearing a Speedy. And The Gentleman. I mean, but before I even go in, you tell me what is your opinion? I know you haven't seen The Gentleman, so from on things you've seen of him, do you need convincing, or are you kind of like, no, I can see it?
No, I can see it. I can see it. I don't think it's one of those situations where it's like, I'm not sure. Like
Hmm.
I could totally see him just rolling out of bed. He to me is the equivalent of like a Brosnan. Like
Yep.
Brosnan looks like he could just be Bond, like boom, like right
Oh,
out.
yeah,
Like,
like, he
even in Mrs.
barely cut his
Doubtfire, you're
hair.
like, fuck,
Yeah.
Bond's in a
Oh,
family
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like it's just I think he has the look down. He definitely would fit in perfectly.
Oh,
So
yeah. Oh, yeah.
when you get actors that can fit in perfectly like that, it's like, well, are they gonna
Yeah.
wink, wink? Are they gonna pull a fast one? That's who it's gonna be. But I will say he is the lesser known out between him and ATJ.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta get used to saying that.
ATL-TMJ,
Yeah,
Atlanta,
perfect. Nailed it.
Lockjaw.
Lockjaw.
I mean, that's the thing though. I think, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure his name was floated around a year ago, 2 years ago, but
Oh yeah.
it was diluted with 10 other names, and then you're kinda like, the guy from Divergent? And don't get me wrong, Barbara and Michael probably thought the same thing, and they're not dumb. I mean, they do it for a living. They probably see talent that, if they watch something like Divergent, they can be like, "Oh, he's good in it." Where you and I watch, we're like, "Yeah, it's a popcorn teen thing." But they
Yeah,
could watch it and be like, "Oh, I could see it." Just like Daniel Craig. I mean, you can't
that's true.
deny incredible. So then all I think I ever needed when it comes to him is the contrast between his character in White Lotus versus his character in The Gentleman, and then in the middle, who he actually is. They're 3 wildly different people, and you're like, "This guy's got some range." Like, to me, he's the guy, flat out,
Flat out.
flat out.
That's your full send, like,
He's my number 1,
sign right
like,
here.
it's like him, and then a far second is ATJ, and then after that, it's kind of like they're all interchangeable. Like,
Dude,
maybe Henry Cavill,
you
and then
cooled on Cavill real fast. I mean, obviously his age is a factor. I'm not gonna
yeah,
ignore that,
he's
but
just I don't know, man.
dude, I get it. I know what it is too. Don't lie.
It's
That
that
fucking
fucking
Argyle thing.
movie. It's that movie
Fuck.
sucked so bad.
Oh my god, it was
It
so
was
bad.
so bad. The best part was Dua Lipa,
Yeah.
and she
Yeah.
was in it for, like, 3 minutes.
3 minutes in the beginning.
Yeah, and not to mention, like, did you not see, like, the Skyfall references in the beginning?
Oh, 1000%.
Like,
Yeah,
oh
there
my
were
god, like,
so
her
many
getting
Bond
shot
references.
in what
Yeah.
looks like a G-Wagon, but it's like a Jeep, and then him riding a motorcycle on the roof. It's like, what is going on? That movie, like, dude,
How angry were you after 10 minutes of watching it?
I went and saw it with Jason Kim, and I fell asleep. I don't know if he knows that. Maybe this is the first time he's gonna hear
Did
it, but
Jason Kim oh god, thank you for
he
setting
liked
this
it.
up. Did Jason Kim bring his, Dune popcorn bucket, extra butter, no popcorn?
Oh my god. They were all on Kimmel, and he brought that out, and they hadn't seen it, and, like, half of
Holy
them wouldn't even put their
fuck.
arm in there.
I, like well, it's funny because that's one of the topics I put for us to discuss is this fucking popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
Because how
I
can you
haven't
not
seen the movie yet, though.
bro, you haven't seen it? It's fucking great.
I haven't
It's
really seen the
great.
first one.
The first one, I did that. I kinda, like, watched it, didn't watch it. I, like,
Yeah.
put it on, kinda paid attention, didn't pay attention. I was like, "This movie fucking
Dude,
sucks."
here, millisecond side note, because you
Mhm.
might wanna just completely shut this off. I haven't even seen the new Mission Impossible.
I'm gonna fucking disembowel
I
you.
know. Well, it's
What
because
the
I
fuck?
wanted to watch the 2 prior, which I've
Oh,
seen,
dude,
but I
you're
wanted to
fucking
go
up right
bang,
now.
bang, bang, so I will.
You're
I'll do it
fucking
later.
up.
I'll do it this weekend or something. We
Bro,
got I have
yeah.
an obligation now.
Oh, yeah, you do. You've been assigned some homework.
I do have an
But Dune
IMF pin, though.
so Dune, I watched the first one over again, like, a week before it came out, and this
Mhm.
time I, like, picked a time to, like, actually I was like, "I'm gonna give this thing a real fucking go."
No phone. Yeah.
Dude, just fucking locked in. Like, I was like, "Oh."
Put the baby
No,
outside.
that's what I was doing. The wife, I said, "Take a nap, do what you need to do," and I literally took care of the baby and watched it, and I was like, "Baby, stop crying, I'm watching.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Stop crying, I'm watching." And so I was like, "Okay," I was like, "I'm in now, I got it. I understand the concept here." So, like, I was, like, really, like, pumped to see the second one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that fucking popcorn bucket, the first time I saw it, we had went to a movie. What did we go see? Oh,
You
we
might have
went and saw
saw
Argyle.
Argyle. Yeah.
So fuck. So this popcorn bucket was on the shelf, like right next to me. We're in line. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I
What
like
in pocket
I
pussy
grab
world
it,
is that?
I pull it down and I look at it and I'm like, I show it to Cassandra and she's like, no. I was like, I just want to
Did you
buy
buy
this
it?
for No, I didn't. I wanted to
Oh.
so bad. I told her, I was like, "I kinda wanna buy this for the factor of it looks like this." I immediately, dude,
Mhm.
I was like, "Sex toy."
Oh, one day that's gonna be worth like $1,000 at
Oh,
least,
100%.
maybe more.
If you don't put any butter in it, it'll probably be worth more.
Well, butter, lube, amongst many, many other things. Pre-seed.
Oh, the pre-seed. Fuck, that's a nice little side joke.
Oh, shit.
Oh my
Yeah, that is a
god,
side
dude.
joke.
Yeah, that freaking bucket, man. I couldn't believe how much like, and then it started being a topic, and I was like, "I should have bought that fucking bucket just as a
Uh-huh.
joke." So, anyway, yeah, you gotta see
Shit.
it. I can't believe you haven't seen the Mission Impossibles, dude. We gotta talk about that after you
I
freaking
know,
watch
but
them.
this is the thing. It's I here, if you go to eBay and just type in Dune, it's the first thing. It's $150. 60. Oh, here's one for 60.
Used.
Yeah, actually, in fairness, this one's actually got the plastic and everything. I would get that. Oh, there's the Lubriderm one.
Yeah, the Lubriderm one. That's the
Oh
picture I sent
my
you.
god. I wonder if it comes with the Lubriderm.
It should.
Yeah, it
Maybe some
absolutely should.
Jergens, cocoa butter.
Little jergies.
I love that.
Um, but yeah, with Mission Impossible, that was one where, and trust me, I have no excuse at this point, but it was like that's a series where it's similar to Bond. It's like they're all connected. There's some, story, especially as of late with the last few Mission Impossibles. I was like, I don't want to like this. I have to do this movie justice. It's a 90 something on Rotten Tomatoes, made $1 billion.
Like the
I was
last
like,
4 are 90 plus.
oh, they're all great. We've talked about
Yeah.
that on here. And I was like, I can't just like watch it. I was like, I
You
have
need
to
to
like
you need
refresh.
preheat.
Yeah. So, and same with Dune. I mean, everyone's saying it's like the first time they saw Star Wars and stuff. So like I need to
I don't know
sit
if I'd
down and
go that
I
far,
don't
but
think I would either, regardless. It's pretty
yeah,
hard for me to get to a place. Like the only thing I can compare to the first time I saw Star Wars was seeing Bond for the first time.
yeah. That's
Goldeneye.
first Star Wars movie, was it New Hope?
My first Star Wars movie, I would assume so. Yeah. I mean, obviously
I know my first Star Wars movie. I saw episode 1 with my dad
in the theater.
in the theater, and I was just like, I
Nice.
didn't know shit. I was like in my
Yeah.
head, I'm like, "Where's fucking Darth Vader?" Like, I had to, like, understand all that shit, you know? So,
Little
it
like
was I got
12-year-old Lorenzo's all
yeah,
pissed
so
off.
then it sent me down the rabbit hole. Then I watched all the 3 originals, and I was like, "Okay, I get
Yeah.
it."
Yeah. Are
So,
you a prequel guy? You gotta be a prequel guy.
I like prequels. I like them
Yeah.
when they're good. Like, one of my favorite prequels, which will be controversial, I'm
Well, Star
sure.
Wars specifically.
What do you mean?
Like you like 1, 2, and 3.
I like 1, 2 is okay, and 3 is just I
Depressing.
love New Hope, though. New Hope's my
Yeah.
shit.
See, I'm like I keep telling my friend
Not
Cameron,
New
who
Hope,
I've
I'm
now
sorry,
brought up twice.
Rogue One. I meant Rogue
Oh,
One.
Rogue One's fantastic,
Oh,
dude.
what a
Rogue One
great
is
fucking movie.
great. Rogue One's
Solo was kinda
great.
weak sauce, I'm not gonna lie. Solo
Solo
was
was weak. Yeah, what's her face? Amelia Clark, wildly underused in that film. I mean, come on.
yeah.
Smoke show. He didn't even, she's
Didn't
wearing like
even
suits
didn't
and
even
shit
use
the
the
whole time.
show, just some smoke.
Yeah, exactly. It was smoke and mirrors.
Smoke
Um,
and
I told
mirrors.
my friend, I was like, I'm gonna start Star Wars. Like this was right after Christmas. I was like, I'm going 1, 2, all the Clone Wars, 3, like every single
You're
thing
gonna
in the
do the
Bad
gauntlet.
Batch, everything. I went 1, 2, put on an episode of Clone Wars, like, I don't have the time. Put on 3, didn't finish it, and then, like, 3 months go by, and, like, a couple days ago, I was like, "I wanna watch episode 1." Like, I can't
Just
like
restart.
oh, yeah, and, like, when 4, 5, and 6 are on TV, I always turn them on because they're just great,
Yeah.
but what was the prequel you were gonna say that was unpopular opinion?
I don't know if it's unpopular, but I like it, is, Prometheus. I just
Mm,
I don't know, just, like, I'm super into that kinda shit. I'm not,
yeah,
I'm not a I like aliens and Alien, but I'm more of a Predator fan,
yeah,
but when they do the Alien versus Predator thing, like, and they cross over, I was like, "Okay, I gotta watch these fucking movies." When I
right,
watched Prometheus, I was, like, really into it. Like, I was like, "Okay, this is cool." And
mhm,
I know they got another one coming out this year.
mm.
What is it? Alien, oh, I can't remember the name.
Alien popcorn box, I think it's called.
Alien
Popcorn
I can't
King.
even say it. It's so fucked up.
Yeah, don't start us
I
off.
was about
Don't
I was about to just drop a
wait till
hot
we
one.
get, like,
I was
3
like,
more
"Bro,
episodes
you're like,
under
you
our
gotta
belt.
get people to come back and listen to us. You
I
cannot
know.
go
We'll
that
be like, "These
deep."
idiots."
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
god.
See, at least there's a filter there still.
Yeah, I bet still, I think that's new. I think
I
that's
mean,
like
it
Dad Lorenzo filter. I think that's a new
yeah.
attribute.
I haven't thought about that since we started talking because this is something we did so regularly
Mhm.
pre-dad
Yep.
that, my daughter's gonna listen to this shit. It's gonna be
Yeah.
wild, like,
You are a dad. This is your first podcast, Bonds
as a
Apart
dad.
or Blunt Instruments, I should say, as a dad.
Mhm.
How's that?
It's I mean, it was fine until just now. If I'm being honest. I wasn't thinking about it. It wasn't even in my head. I was like, "Oh, yeah, she can listen to this."
Uh-huh.
Juliana, if you're listening to this, turn this shit off right now.
Yeah, and
Go to
don't
your
say
room.
shit.
Don't
Don't
say
say
shit.
shit.
Don't say shit. Turn it off
How
until
is,
you're, like, 16.
fatherhood? How is
It's
actual
it
fatherhood?
It is the most incredible thing you can experience in your life. That's for sure.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
you're whatever you think it is, it's not. Um, it's 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 great, it's bad, it's all the above, and I wouldn't change anything about it. Like, it's
Nice.
an
Well
experience.
said, guy. Well said, guy. She
Yeah,
okay,
I
now shut it off, Juliana.
now
Now shut
shoot
it off.
now shut it off.
Now we're gonna say fuck.
And brown.
I thought you were banished from saying that.
I wanted to make sure the people that bet the over would hit that
Mm,
brown ballot would be mentioned at least once in our first return
yeah.
episode.
Well, you know what I haven't said and I don't say anymore is "for me." That got blown out of proportion so
For
damn hard.
me, this is a
Yeah.
big deal.
Which, like, okay, when I was a kid, you remember getting, like, dogpiled?
Oh, that's the worst.
This is actually a Bond story too. This is why we do this, because this is literally a James Bond story.
I
I
love
was,
it.
like, at the bottom of a dog pile, and I said, like, "Alright, get up, like, I can't breathe."
Oh,
I said
no. You've told this story before.
did I? Yeah, I was like, "Just get up, like, I can't breathe." And then for the rest of my life, they were like, "I can't breathe." I was like, "That is literally from GoldenEye." And then I, like, sat them down and showed them, like, 10 years later, and they were like, "Huh,
Huh.
yeah, maybe you didn't say." I was like, "If I couldn't breathe, what makes you think I would have this long, drawn out, theatrical perform." I was like, "Get up, like, I can't breathe." Oh
Senya,
my god.
I can't breathe.
I don't even why did I even bring that up? What were we talking about to make me
We're
think that?
we're talking about I lost track.
Yeah, okay. So, I know you had another topic. What's the other topic you had written down? We
So
already covered the
we went
popcorn.
out of order, so I'm gonna get us back on track here per usual.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
it was some quick shots. So we got the AT ATJ. We got that.
ATJ.
We got the popcorn bucket with the loop. Oh, all right. Let's talk a little bit about Beetlejuice.
I
It
haven't
just
even
dropped.
seen the trailer.
Bro, I watched it yesterday. I
Who's
sent
playing
it to you
him?
in the chat. Fucking our boy, Keaton.
Is it he's come back? Yeah,
100%.
yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I did see the trailer with, Jenna Ortega
Yeah, and Winona
what's her
Ryder's
face?
back. Yeah, they're
And
all
but
back.
what's her face from Schitt's Creek
Yeah,
and, like, Home Alone?
Catherine O'Hare.
Yes. Nice. Yeah.
I can't
Okay.
believe I remember that name, by the way.
Yeah.
Know
It's
her face.
O'Hara. O'Hara.
O'Hara.
O'Hara's the
There you
airport.
mm,
Close.
easily
Um,
forgotten.
were you a big fan of Beetlejuice when you were a kid?
Yes, actually, it was one of my favorite movies as
Did
a
it freak
kid.
you out a little bit?
No, I just thought it was funny. I thought it was a joke. I think the little snake scene, because I hate snakes,
It was a joke.
kind of freaked me out. But
I thought it was a joke. Let's spend 50,000,000 just to make this Lorenzo kid laugh.
so no, I enjoyed it. It was good. And then what was it? The cartoon. Do you remember the cartoon?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like super into that. There was like in my childhood there was like three major cartoons I watched. It was like Beetlejuice, Batman,
Rugrats?
animated.
Rugrats?
No, I didn't have cable growing up until I was like 12. We got
Oh,
cable.
man.
Yeah, I know. And then I liked Spider-Man. I used to watch the Spider-Man
Mhm.
cartoon on Saturdays. Oh, and
Yeah.
Power Rangers, obviously.
Yeah. Oh,
Wow,
yeah.
90s
Morphin'
kid.
time. It's morphin' time.
Dude, that was a big deal. That was a big
Mhm.
deal. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, the movie so far, like, I mean, I love that Tim Burton's back. I love that, Michael Keaton's, gonna reprise his role, and yet again, one of
Mhm.
his iconic roles. We got
He's
The Flash
awesome,
last year. Dude's just a good dude. He's a
and
great actor, man.
he looks so good too. He
Yeah.
looks so good still. He
I
is a
mean,
great actor.
what'd you think about him coming back as Batman? Or did you not see
Um,
that either?
no, I saw. I mean, first off, I'm a Marvel guy, and
Mhm.
it's not for lack of trying. DC's kind of fumbled their way through, film after
Still
film,
are.
but
Still
yeah.
are.
Oh, yeah, I heard Aquaman was dog shit.
Well, did you hear
Um,
what they're doing with the whole, sorry to get off track
the
real quick
Justice
here.
League thing, is that the one they're doing with, James Gunn? What are they doing or
Yeah,
Superman they're doing with James
but
Gunn?
you remember that Robert Pattinson Batman came out, like, 2 years ago, and now
Yeah,
they're
which was
saying that
good.
they're gonna cancel it
Why?
because of this James Gunn, like, universe they're
I
creating.
thought he just started filming. Like, I thought he was
No, no,
just now
no,
filming.
no. So they canceled. It's not official, there's been a lot of, like, back and forth over it, but they're saying they're gonna cancel The Batman 2, and it was funny because in the fall, they were releasing that Colin Farrell,
Penguin.
Penguin, which looks
Yeah.
awesome. I saw the trailer for
Uh-huh.
that today. So I'm kinda
Honestly,
like,
I like thrillers, I like psychological thrillers, I like true crime, I like detective shit, and I like superheroes. Robert Pattinson's Batman was fucking awesome. I don't care what
I
anybody
liked it.
says. I thought it was so good. It was so dark. It was, like, legit.
Yeah,
It was like if Tim Burton and Christopher Nolan's movies, like, collided, in my opinion.
that's a good comparison.
Because it was like over the top, like comic-y in the sense where it was like, no city is that dark and scary. You know what I mean? Like Tim Burton's Batmans were like so like out of this world, but then
Yeah,
Christopher Nolan's were like the story and like everything, obviously Christian Bale was fantastic. I thought those were so good, dude. That pisses me off. I hope that doesn't happen.
yeah, I know. It is kind of a rub. And then they're, like, kinda talking about who would play Batman for James Gunn's Batman, and I
Uh-huh.
forgot whose name was being tossed around that I was kinda like, "Really?" It
It's not the
was,
guy from Solo, is it?
no, 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 it was a big name. Oh, who was it? I can't remember. I wanna say, this isn't the one I remember, but this was another name I heard tossed around was Jake Gyllenhaal,
Oh, I did see that too.
which
Yeah, I saw that
I
too.
just watched his Roadhouse, movie that came out on, what do you call it? Was that Amazon Prime?
Right.
Yeah, I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, it
Too many
is.
subscriptions. But
Yeah.
I watched it. He was great. The movie was weak. That
Mhm.
was kinda my rub about it. But, yeah, I could see him being a good Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, yeah, but, like, fuck, I mean, Pattinson did a good job. Let give the guy that's what's this shit's
Yeah.
so weird to me. Like, it's just so overly political now,
Well,
and
it's
I
just
get
like,
that they
how do you
haven't Go ahead.
No, 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 sorry, I cut you off.
I was just gonna say, I get that they haven't made good movies, but it's like, then you make one good one, and you've got
Y
good actors in there, Zoe Kravitz and him, and it's like and Colin Farrell, it's like, what the fuck are we
Well, don't forget
John Turturro, like, what are we doing?
we got the Joker coming out this year, the
Yeah.
second one. So it's like, so you can make these great standalone films, but you can't, like, bring them together in one universe? Like,
Mhm.
what the fuck's going on here? And the fact that they're filming multiple Batmans at the same time. Like, that shit, like, just drives me crazy. It's like, just pick one person to do the job.
Right,
Like, fuck,
right.
one storyline. So that's what really screwed them.
Yeah, and now that you said it, the Jake Gyllenhaal thing I do remember seeing. I just kind of was probably thinking like, what could that even be about? But now that I know, it's God, that's so dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and this is the thing. You can say what you want about the Marvel movies. I know like Scorsese's said some things and whatever. And don't get me wrong, I get it. But the way that they've intertwined and weaved their way through all this whole universe is pretty damn impressive. Pretty damn impressive.
Yeah. It's gone on too long, though, I feel
Oh, I
like.
agree, I agree, and,
Yeah.
like, I was talking to somebody the other day who's a pretty big fan, and he was like I mean, it's once, like without RDJ and Chris Evans and all them, it's like
Yeah, what's the point?
not the same. Yeah, I mean, you got
You're
like Ant-Man, but I heard, and I did watch the second one. I heard that one wasn't super good, and then like the Hawkeye show was actually pretty good with Jeremy Renner and Haley Steinfeld. Don't see that coming back anytime soon. I did just read today that what's his face that plays Bucky isn't coming
Mm.
back for that show,
Oh,
Captain
really?
America. Yeah, he's not coming back. And neither is Daniel Bruhl. He's not coming back either.
I like him.
I do
He always
too.
he plays like a very good like
Hero,
anti-hero.
yeah.
Yeah, he
Inglorious Bastards, the first thing I saw him in, I was like, this guy's great.
what's your favorite movie he's been in? Because I know what mine is.
It's Inglorious Bastards, I think.
I,
Or
I
or
love I love him in Burnt.
the racing movie, right?
No, 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 no. That's the chef movie with
Oh,
Bradley
with
Cooper. Love him
yes.
in that movie.
Yes, he's the maitre d', isn't he?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes. See, look at the
Yeah.
motherfucker. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for listening to the One Instruments podcast. And no. Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna
he's
end on a
great.
high note.
He's great. But it's like Inglorious Bastards was like that was like a
Oh god,
that
that
was like
movie.
a
Fuck,
like
dude.
a
That's a
show
great
and
movie.
tell for any actor in that movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like even Christoph Waltz, like language to language to language. That scene where he's like eating that eclair.
Oh, the strudel.
Yeah, that holy shit.
Wait for the creme.
Yeah. But he's like, but he's saying it like French, then German, then it's like, dude,
Holy
guy's
shit,
nuts.
dude. The dude's a great like these are great, great actors and actresses.
Cuckoo. Nice.
Damn, dude. Such a missed opportunity. Oh,
Not
who was I talking?
good.
I was talking to Cassandra about this the other day. I
Mm.
was I can't remember how we got on the topic, bringing it back to Bond, of course.
Yep.
And she goes, "Why?" I forgot what I had on. I think I had Quantum of Solace on.
Mm.
And she's like, "What happened here?" She's like, this is a good film, and I love when she does this. She'll like dissect a Bond film,
Yeah.
and she'll be like, "Why did I felt like there was more here?" I was like, "There fucking was." And so then I went on this whole storyline of explaining to her how Quantum was really supposed to be quote Spectre,
Right. No
and how
copyright and all
like
that bullshit.
she's like, "I wish they would have done a standalone film." I was like, "Skyfall was a standalone film if you really want to be honest with yourself." Like, Skyfall was supposed to kind of break the mold of Quantum, and then it was just supposed to be like it seemed like they were just breaking away from that whole concept.
Yeah.
And then they got the Spectre rights, and they're like, "Okay, let's tie it all together." And it's like, no, don't fucking do that.
Well, that's the thing. It's like Marvel can do it with 40 movies. You guys can't do it with 5, 6.
Well, I'm gonna give them the pass. I'm gonna give them the pass because they did find the rights to that in the middle of filming that arc.
Yeah, but they should have just
They
left
should have
it
put
for
it
the
in their
next guy.
fucking back
Yeah.
pocket. You're right. That's
Yeah.
exactly what they should have fucking done.
Yep. Yep.
1000%.
I mean, you know, and I've made this joke a million times, but you get you know, I love Skyfall. I think Skyfall is nearly perfect, along with Casino Royale.
Mhm.
And after all this, I think Quantum has just skyrocketed in my point of view as well,
Mhm.
because you've got Casino Royale, but even more of a badass Daniel Craig. So my issue is you make Skyfall. You've got Judi Dench, Oscar winner. You've got Javier Bardem, Oscar. What the fuck with these things? Oh my god! You've you've got then a gun.
I can't do it. Oh, what am I not doing right?
I just went.
I don't
Okay,
know, dude.
so I'm just gonna
That's
keep my
wild.
hands below the table. So I mean, we've had this conversation. You got Oscar winner after Oscar winner, Sam Mendes, all these people. Christoph Waltz comes in for Spectre, and you're like, this is only going to be bigger and better. And don't get me wrong, sartorially, it's fucking incredible.
Oh, untouched.
The cars, the locations, it's all unreal.
I feel like
It's like
Spectre's the only other film that can rival that.
Spectre and Quantum.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Hands
talking
down.
about Spectre right now. Spectre is like,
Oh yeah. To me, that's
unreal.
that's the winner.
Yeah, unreal. But then Christoph Waltz is such a waste in that film.
Oh, it's so
And then
just
it's like,
underwhelming.
and the joke I always make is, you're telling me at the end of the movie he either went down himself or paid somebody with some fucking scotch tape to hang up mug shots of every person James Bond's ever met and say, like, all of them are, like, because of me? No. Just no, man.
Well,
And
so
it's so
he
dumb.
here's the thing, though, you know this, I know you know this. You know that there was all these problems when they were, like, filming Spectre and trying to nail down the script. It was all leaked
Yeah.
during that whole interviewer
Yeah.
situation with North Korea and all that
Yeah,
crap.
I mean, and it happened with Quantum too, and then technically No Time to Die, yeah.
I mean, I really wish I know they don't tend to do this, but just have the whole fucking script done. Just have it done when you go to filming. That way, if you're gonna make changes, you can do little changes, not, "Oh, well, we'll figure out the end while we're filming." Just don't do that. Like, it's just such a bad look. Like, get a good solid story together first, especially if you're gonna take 6 years between films. Like, I mean, someone's gotta be writing something, or like we discussed before, maybe it's time to bring some new writers in, man.
I agree. I
Look, I
agree.
don't wanna get on this path of bitching.
Well, this is my other thing too. It's like I'm assuming Casino Royale, they had the script done, but they didn't with Quantum.
No,
So
Quantum was like turn and burn, baby.
oh, yeah, which whatever, but
Short window, they did pretty good, and if there wasn't a writer's strike, which by the sounds of it, they had a first draft, which
yeah,
is very rough, and they're like, "Fuck it," and they're like, "Well, we gotta get this out." So they just full send.
right. See, and that's where I get confused. It's like once you have your actor, sometimes you're like, "Just start filming. I don't give a fuck if the script is done." And then sometimes you have a script. So what is it now that you don't have an actor, there's no sense of urgency to find one and start filming again? Like, why do you and it's like mishandled in the sense where it's like you're turning out subpar movies with unfinished scripts, and yet it's like once you have an opportunity to start from scratch, like, pick the actor, then build the script around the actor. And you don't have to say, like, when you announce the actor, it's different than announcing the film. Like, they
Yeah,
bring them all to Pinewood, "Here's Javier, here's this guy, here's that guy," and then they turn around and walk into the next room and start filming. You don't have to do that with the actor. Like, just say, like, "It's Theo James. Stay tuned." And now we know, like, okay, you got the actor, you got the vision in your head, you know what he's good at, write a script, and then it's like for Purvis and Wade, it's like, you're really telling me you don't have any ideas? Because it's like, even No Time to Die's plot, what in my opinion, really wasn't that bad. And it's like just like kind of like, the infectious disease type thing. I mean, and then
right.
COVID, it's like they're almost like ahead of the time sometimes. So it's like they clearly have good ideas, but it's
Yeah.
like when you're scrambling, what do you expect?
Yeah, like, what are you doing here? And I think this has a lot to do with bringing in a new director in each time,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
there's more opinions being put in there, which is good sometimes, but if it's gonna be like, "Okay, I really wanna mess with the equation," like, who's the real person in the end who's making the decisions here?
Mhm.
And I think that's why we're never gonna get a Nolan Bond film, because Nolan wants too much control, and Eon doesn't wanna trust him with their shit to do what he wants to do, which I think is a shame, because
Mhm.
at some point, if you want something fresh, fuck, god damn, like, you gotta be able to let go for a second
Not to
and
mention,
trust a talented person.
you and I are already back on the same page. My next question was literally gonna be, would you
Mhm.
do a 3 Nolan film arc, 1 actor, and then after those 3, the actor's gone and Nolan's gone? Would you do that?
If you told me right now, "I will give you a Bond film in a year and a half, and it's a 3 arc movie by Nolan, and Cavill's the actor, since it's it's gonna be turn and burn,
Right.
you could squeeze him in," I'd be like, "Sign me the fuck up."
Yeah. This is and, like, everybody loves money.
Yeah,
Christopher Nolan won Oscars and made over $1 billion.
he wants to do these films, that's the thing,
Yeah.
is like, it's not like it's like you're twisting his arm, he wants to do them, but he wants to do them his way.
Mhm.
It's like, what's stopping you from, like, if you're so hooked on getting someone in there to, like, make a film the way you want it, then why aren't you filling the void with someone who knows what they wanna do
Right.
and can run with it for a couple years, and then it gives you time to kinda reassess how you wanna go about it.
To me, he's like the Jon Favreau of
Yeah.
of Bond. Like, this is somebody that's like, please let me do it, but just like trust me. And it's like as far as I'm concerned, like his trust level is higher than anybody at Eon for the general public, or
Yeah.
and probably all of us too. Eon's had. There's been some shitty Bond movies, some good ones, some bad. Like, you know what I mean? Christopher Nolan really hasn't put out a bad movie.
I mean, he's put out like, I mean, if you really want to like get down to the the nuts and the screws of his films, I mean, you could probably pick one out that's like, okay, wasn't amazing, it was great.
Right.
Like, I mean, we're going from amazing to great. Like, fuck, like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like those odds. I really do.
He's just unbelievable. To me, and I've said this offline because this was kind of something that was churning around in the last year. If I'm Barbara and Michael, and yeah, they know him personally, they've met, they've spoken, whatever. But if he were an interview, if I were like, okay, Oppenheimer is going to sweep all the awards, and he's going around promoting the biggest movie of the year and probably the biggest movie of his career, accolade wise, plus accolade plus financially, and he's still taking the time to say, I would love to do a Bond movie, I'd be like, get him on the fucking phone. Like, let's start this shit in April when everything's done with the awards. Let's get going. Like,
Yeah.
who do you want to be Bond? Tell us. Let's do it. I would be like chomping at the bit. To me, he's not going to be the director. I hate to say. I wish, but I'd be
No.
shocked.
I heard that what's his face, the Dune guy's kind of like being courted.
Is that
Villanueva.
Denis? Yeah, Denis Villeneuve.
Am I saying it right?
He's French. It's Denis Villeneuve.
Oh, I didn't even fucking know that.
Well, he also did Prisoners with
That's a great
Jake
movie.
Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jack. That movie's
That was a
awesome.
good fucking movie, dude.
Awesome movie. Paul
Yeah.
Dano's so good in that. They're all so good in that. Jake Gyllenhaal keeps doing that thing.
Yeah.
That
I'm
movie's awesome.
James Bond.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, see, another
Blinking
treat
away.
for the people that watch on YouTube.
Yeah, just another trick or treat. There it is. Hey.
Oh! Nothing on this side. Oh, got it.
Nice. There we go. Thumbs
There it
up
is.
for
How'd you do
everybody.
the balloons?
All I did was the air quotes and they came up.
I want balloons.
Maybe that.
Dude, this is
The people listening go, what the fuck's going
fucking
on?
StreamYard. Gonna have to
Yeah.
look up the secret menu on how to do
Oh
things.
God. There. No.
No, was that the Spider-Man?
That's the Voldemort.
The
I don't know.
Voldemort.
How do
That's
you
the
want to you want to wrap this up? Do you got another topic or should we save them?
I think I have one more. One more that I think you have a lot to say about. It'll
Oh
probably take
God.
us all the way to the end here.
Uh-oh. If it's about how hot Jodie Comer is, let's do it. That's my number one pick for Bond Girl.
There you go.
Next question.
Would you okay, this sidebar here.
Absolutely.
Would you be okay with them bringing back Ana de Armas?
Oh yeah, of course.
I know. I wouldn't even give a shit. I don't care.
No,
You can even
I
change
wouldn't
her
care if they
fucking
brought back the entire fucking cast. I wouldn't
Right.
care at all.
Right. I
No,
like
not
that.
at all. Because I mean, it's like, look how they did it for the fucking Desmond Llewellyn and all these people. Like, come on, like, you know what I mean? They had different Bonds coming in and out.
Yeah.
There's something like it's just it's so original to itself to have like different Bonds. Like nobody was doing shit like that unless it was like Star Wars, it's
Right.
different because you didn't have a different Luke Skywalker from 4 to 5 to 6. It's like I like the continuity. Like I'm telling you right
Right.
now, if there's a continuity thing,
Oh,
like
fuck
even between like once again with Marvel, like if they're doing like something in the movies and then you go and watch like Agent Phillips or whatever the fuck, Agent Carter,
yeah.
and then something's different or like not even that. I don't like something like Agent Carter where they'll reference Captain America, but he's not actually in the show.
Right.
If he's in the show, I would have watched every single episode. I've never seen a single one. So it's like when there's that continuity in there, I love
Mhm.
that shit. Just, I mean, I know it costs money for a Bond film. It doesn't matter. TV, obviously. But yeah, like bring Ben Whishaw back, bring Ray Fiennes back, bring Naomi Harris back, bring them all. Like I wouldn't care at all. I'd prefer it.
I like it. I'm not against what you're saying. So this sidebar's ending.
Well,
But
what do you oh, that was a sidebar?
that was a sidebar.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm gonna squeeze this in though.
Okay.
My secret wish is that the next Bond villain is a woman. Like, I really
Oh,
want, like
I honestly
I
think
want
it
a
Jodie
really
Comer would crush that role.
evil ass woman going up
Yeah.
against Bond.
Yeah.
Like, I want that so bad.
Yeah. I think Jodie Comer would absolutely annihilate that role.
Yeah.
Watch one season of Killing Eve. I mean, unbelievable. She is so damn good. Like, it's kinda like a Xenia thing, but, like, way more powerful and main villain.
Love that.
But they have to, they have to bone it out.
Of course.
They can't not.
Electra style.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I mean, let's be real, what's his face in that movie wasn't shit.
Nah, he was weak
Why
sauce.
can't I
He
think of
was
his
a
name?
sidekick.
I
I
wanna
gotta
say
play
Bernard.
Renard.
Renard. Hey,
Bernard.
that's not bad, that's not
What are you
bad.
thinking about, fucking, what is that, Megamind? Bernard.
Bernard. Yeah, no, I would be all for it because, I mean, somebody like Jodie Comer, I mean, she's the first one that comes to mind because, she's younger, she's beautiful, but holy shit is she good. She is unbelievably good. I mean, to me, I don't think anybody age, gender, any of that, I don't think anyone would bat an eye if she was cast. Like, or maybe it'd be like a Daniel Craig thing. They'd be like, really? And then you see the movie and you'd be like, oh yeah, I get it. You
Yeah.
know?
I think we're in for a treat, whoever it ends up being and however it's gonna be so different. But
Yeah. I just hope do you think we get news this year?
I think so. I think we're gonna hear something this year. I'll be surprised if we don't.
Yeah.
I think it's been long enough and Craig's been separated long enough from it, and I think we'll get something. And I think it'll be when we least expect it. I think that's
Yeah.
also part of it.
Mhm. Mhm. Which,
Could
in
could be tomorrow.
fairness,
Could be
the
tomorrow.
last 6 months I've been in that mood.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't been expecting anything. I mean, and that's the
Yeah.
thing, it's like then all this stuff comes out and it's like, I almost wish they'd say, like, "These rumors aren't true," but they don't do that either, and I get people don't really do that in that industry,
Right.
but it's like, it's just, you don't really have anything that's where there's, like, an entire country, well, like, behind something like that, you know what I mean? It's just different. It's like it really is, like, such a niche, we always say it's, like, so small, but obviously so big. But it is just such a niche, like, the way people behave about
Yeah.
Bond and the way the Bond everything Eon does, everything it's just different than anything else, you know? I
It
don't know.
will I guess we'll see, man. I mean, it's kind of a wild concept that this decision will be potentially the next decade to 15 years. This person's going to be taking up this mantle,
Mhm.
unless they pull a George.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you know what, though? I think if anybody would pull a George, it'd be Aaron Taylor Johnson. And
Oh,
I'm not just saying that, I really do.
shit.
Don't you think?
Welcome to Blunt Instruments, where you will hear unpopular opinions.
And we will be blunt. I something about him, I feel like he's like a against the grain kinda guy.
when, when we were talking about, when we decided we were coming back, I was thinking like little taglines. I gotta tell you the one that just kept coming back to my head.
What is it?
Blunt Instruments. Blunter and more cuntier. I just couldn't help myself. I just kept playing with it. I'm like, I kind of like
Oh
that.
my god.
Oh
So
man. See, one got by the filter tonight.
yeah, yeah. Well, you already told your not even
Oh,
6 months old
she's
daughter
off.
to turn
She's
it
off.
off.
She's been long
Yeah.
gone. When we started talking about other things, she got bored and turned it off.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
that's what I'm gonna live with. But
Well
okay, so this last subject I was gonna tell you before we go. So I
mhm,
wanted to talk to you about this. So talk to me about this white speedy thing, because that's my wheelhouse.
mhm.
Me and you never had a full conversation about it other than what do you think? What's your take on it? Do you like the move? Do you think it was just kind of gimmicky? Like where are you at with Daniel Craig wearing that and where we are now?
Well, I think Omega does a pretty good job in the marketing space. I think that was a really good idea because
Mm.
Hodinky and everything else picked it up. Like, what is this? Oh my
Mhm.
god! Blah blah blah. Obviously, you then expect, wait a little bit and it'll come out. I actually really like it. I like the white. I think the white's incredibly clean. I like that they didn't change really anything other than that. Not saying movement and stuff, but like it's the same thing, but it's got a white dial, and I just think it's incredibly clean. I think I don't know, it kind of just diversifies, the traditional Speedmaster. I mean, for me, it's like the reason I wanted the most recent one so
Mhm.
badly is I actually saw somewhere on Instagram somebody had like almost like an army green strap on a Speedy with the black face. I was like, that just looks so damn good. And then for me, it's like then this white one comes out. I was like, that wouldn't look good on there, but like the white dials, I mean, it's just nice. It's
It's
nice.
different. It's
Yeah.
different, like you said.
What do you
Uh,
think?
have you seen it in person yet?
No.
Oh, so
I
I've
should
seen
take
it.
a ride out to the boutique out here and see if it's
You
there.
should, and report
Mine's
back.
mine's an AD, so I don't know if they even have it. They should.
I
They
mean,
got that freaking set in a gold Speedy there for 45 grand or whatever. I mean, they should have this.
I don't know if they sent displays out to ADs yet. I know for sure boutiques, but I mean that's a whole nother story about why you don't have an AD near or a
Mhm.
boutique near you anymore. But
Yeah.
yeah, my take on it is it's beautiful. I kind of discussed this with you about getting my you trying to get a thumbs up in there.
Mhm. There it is.
There it is. Okay. Um,
Nothing. Middle
shuts this
finger
thing up.
gets nothing. But yeah,
Nothing.
it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. I just after getting my regular moon watch, I was kind of like, okay, it felt like a checkbox.
Mhm. And the Snoopy,
And the
major
Snoopy, which is like
congratulations.
not even thank you, not even a week old yet.
Yeah.
It felt different. Like you really
Stunk.
did.
Yeah.
I got it on right now. Like
Yeah.
I wore it today, first day
Oh, yeah.
out and about, and
Even the navy strap is just fucking unreal. It
it's,
really is.
yeah, it's very crazy. It's a crazy watch. I was shocked to get that call, and it was very night and day from when I got my moon watch at the beginning of the year. And look, first world problems, of course,
Mhm.
but it felt like the way someone described it to me is like you have a watch that's not in your collection, but you see it so often and you see people that have them so often, you try them on so often that you're just like subconsciously you kind of own that watch already.
Mhm.
So for the first time ever, I bought a watch and it just felt like I didn't buy a watch, which I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous. And if someone wants to roast me, I completely understand, but it's just, you know, there's a feeling you get when you get a watch. Like for me, like when a new Bond watch comes out,
Mhm.
that's going to be in a film.
Fuck.
It's it's just this, like it's like the movie, but it's like a secondary part of the movie. It's
Right,
like this
right.
build up to get the watch that's gonna be part of this movie, and I know it's gonna have a bunch of memories of this particular time tied to it. Like, my No Time to Die reminds me a lot about meeting Cassandra, becoming friends with you,
Mhm.
starting my channel up for
Mhm.
real, meeting people like David Zaritsky and Kyle Barbeau and, um just that whole time, it's stamped on that watch, and I'll
Right.
never forget that. So, I love when I get that feeling, and so this time I didn't, so it kinda soured me a little bit on the white Speedy because I was just like, "Is it gonna feel the same way? Is it gonna be like, oh, it's white, but it's just the opposite of what I have, and
Mhm.
there's no emotions there for me, and it's just kind of like an empty purchase." So I started kinda doubting myself, which that never happens, so it's
Yeah.
beautiful. Why I get one, I have no idea, but I don't know. Do you kinda relate to that? Like, do you get
Yeah.
those feelings when you
Yeah.
purchase the watch?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I can relate to that with that Breitling. That Breitling was like a cool, like jewelry store find and a really good deal. But, if it were like, and it's, the price point was obviously substantially different, but like If that were like me flying out to Vegas to buy a brand new No Time to Die at the boutique or something, like, yeah, it would be a completely different feeling. And like you said, first world problems. But you know what? You know who you're listening to. We collect watches. Like, if you don't like it, you're in the wrong spot.
There it
But we
is,
do
dude.
appreciate the listen though, so don't leave.
Don't leave,
Um,
and don't leave a review if you hate
yeah,
us.
don't leave and don't leave a review. But no, I mean, I totally get it. Yeah, because for me, it's like, I mean, I bought that Breitling 2 weeks ago, and it's not even here, and it's not something I'm like thinking about every day. Like, where's this watch? Where's you know what I mean? It's kind of like, but no, I get like, and for me too, I know it's different for you because I've told you, and you could even attest how many times have I told you I want a Speedy.
Yeah.
But if I were to go buy the white one, it would more so be because it's like new and it's maybe a little flashier and it's like, Daniel Craig had it, whatever. But like, I still think I would have to get the regular Speedy someday because I think that void wouldn't be
Mhm.
filled, because I'd be like this, but it's a Speedy, but it's not, like it is, obviously it is, but it's like, this isn't the moon. Like this is not what was, it's like a variation of it,
Are
almost
you
like a Snoopy. Like Snoopys are incredible, but that's not what I've been telling you I've wanted for 3 years,
right.
you
So
know?
would you go Hezolite or would you go Sapphire? That's always the biggest debate when
I
getting
actually
a new
think I'd go
watch.
Sapphire just for the scratch resistance. My biggest thing is I really want it to be polished. Like that's what I
Oh.
really want is the polish.
Oh, so you want to look like the part of, like,
Like I
really
want it to just,
dressy.
yeah, like I want it to be like, and for like, what is it, like $600? Like I'm not gonna like, and this is the thing, the Hezolite, I would do Hezolite too. I'm not, it's more so the polish for me. I would want the polished finish. But other than that, I mean, and we've talked, but like Hezolite, it's not like it scratches that bad. It's just slightly softer. So,
There's, like, more differences. I guess someone had I had talked to someone about there's 5 differences between them. So there's the high polished, middle links
mhm,
on the Sapphire versus, the all brushed on the Hezolite.
right.
And then there's, like, the crystal, the shape of it, like, on the Sapphire, it's, like, more pronounced, and you get that milky ring, and
Mhm,
then on the Hezolite, you don't. It gives you a nice crystal clear, like, look, and then they
right,
got the stamp on there, the Omega logo right in the center,
right.
which they don't do on the,
Sapphire.
Sapphire model, and then obviously the open case back on the Sapphire, and then the closed
Mhm,
case back, so there's a bunch of differences, and then the last piece is the logo is painted on the Hezolite, and then it's applied Omega logo on the Sapphire. So,
okay.
I mean, enough differences. Like, I would never own one of each. I'll be honest. Like, that's not enough to get me to do it.
Yours
Unless
is Hezolite, right?
I went Hezolite, yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's more toolish.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
So,
and I knew
and
you would. We've
yeah,
I knew that. I knew you would do that, yeah.
yeah,
I love the open case back, though. To me,
yeah.
like,
No,
that's the
it's
coolest
beautiful.
thing ever to watch a
Yeah,
watch work like that.
see the heartbeat,
Yeah.
see
Like, a
the
friend of mine
bones.
was talking about how you can actually buy, like, miniature engines, like a V8 engine, and it's like it's battery powered, and you can, like, watch, like, the pistons fire and, like,
Oh
everything, you know
yeah,
what I
I've
mean? And I was
seen
like, I
someone
would
building
love to
one of
see
those.
something like that with a watch.
I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like bigger size so you
Well, yeah,
can.
almost like a desk clock, but,
Yeah.
like, automatic, and you could, like, watch it, like,
I think
you know.
I think Tiffany's makes one.
Oh, great.
40 grand.
Let me call him.
It's like a race car. You, like,
Just like
wind it
the,
up.
Fabergé egg necklace. Are you fucking kidding?
Oh my god, I saw that this morning when I woke up.
111,000 euro for that thing or
Was that
something?
like $150,000?
That's insane. It's absolutely insane.
I wanna know, A, how many they sell, B, who bought them, and C, why the fuck they bought them.
Yeah. And D, why is there that's the first here, let's see if the balloons work. Air quote, the first in a series of Fabergé egg things that they're doing.
Wonder if it's if you do this. No, I don't know. We'll have to look. Hey, wait, they're doing more? I'm
They're
sorry.
doing a series. So, like, who knows? Maybe one can be like a like a paperweight. One can be a pin, like who knows, but they're doing a series of Fabergé egg things.
Dear God. Come on.
Mhm.
There's so
Mhm.
many other things that I could think of just off the top of my head would be more like greatly received than freaking this
Yeah.
egg. It's not even like it's the one from the movie. It's just like this made up Fugazi style looking. It's just silly. I mean, I get it. There's people out there that are into this kind of shit. They're weird.
Bukyak.
They got they got a ton of cash laying around there. Like, oh, I'll just buy this fucking thing. I'm a big
Yeah.
Bond fan. I'm gonna show my Bond fandom. I'm gonna buy this Fabergé egg.
Yeah. My grandpa actually, I went to, Nonu. I was at his place
I love
yesterday.
it. Oh, there's a story in there.
Yeah, there is a good story. Yeah, I actually for the listeners, I was FaceTiming Lorenzo, pulled into my grandpa's place, and Lorenzo has met my Nonu,
I
and
love Nonu.
Nanu's got a Constellation Omega from, I think he says 70s. He's out of his fucking mind. It's like 91, 91 or 92. But
This shit's from the
yeah,
60s.
yeah, he's like, this is brand new.
Wasn't that mega shine?
But he got the pleasure of meeting Lorenzo, and we have a picture, the three of us, with
I love that
with
picture.
our wrist shot, which is really cool. But yeah, it's a great picture. But I told my grandpa that Lorenzo had just bought the Snoopy, but I didn't say it like that. I said Nanu, he bought a new watch. And I told Lorenzo I'll film his reaction. So I pulled it up on his computer that's also 1,000 years old. And
Is it still dial up with AOL? Just use like
no, not that, but it
free
is
trials.
it's like a Dell computer from, I swear to God, maybe 2006. Truly.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's
And
got a tower.
no, it's a laptop, but it's bad.
Oh shit.
And I say, you want to see Lorenzo's watch? First thing he goes, I don't need to see that. I can't buy it. I'm like, no one's asking you to buy it, and you could buy it, and no one's you just keep going to Italy by yourself. And I was like, and he goes, I was like, it's got Snoopy on these. Snoopy. I was like, yeah, like Snoopy. And he's like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, it's like, space and Snoopy and blah blah blah. He's like, oh yeah. And I was like, yeah, it's like X amount of money. He's like, holy shit. Was he own the store? I was like, basically. I mean, you're probably a constellation away from or in like a rail
Could open
master.
up my own little small
Yeah, from
AD.
having your own AD. Yeah. So
I actually own a Constellation technically.
do
My
you?
wife
Oh,
my wife
Cassandra's?
has
Yeah.
one.
Oh, that's right. So you need a
Yeah.
rail master, and then you're on your way.
I need a Rail Master and like
The
a
DeVille?
Globe Master. Yeah, like a
Yeah, the
DeVille.
DeVille. Oh, now we're just rattling off. Lorenzo's gonna be like, shit, I've got a lot more
Fuck, I
I
missed
need to
one.
buy. Yeah.
I'm
So
ordering right now.
a nice DeVille. Kyle's is nice. Kyle Barbeau's DeVille is nice.
That's a sweet DeVille.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Those
so you told him and his reaction. So I'm watching this video. I'm just like dying, absolutely
Yeah.
dying, because he's
I
just
don't
like,
need to see it. I can't buy it.
I can't buy it.
It's like nobody asked you to. And trust me, if you wanted to, it's not like you can just pick up the phone.
See, that's where you don't know Nanu's pull.
Yeah.
You
You
make
never
one phone
know.
call.
You
He'll
never
just show
know.
up at his doorstep.
Yeah. A story I don't know if I've told on here, when he first, it was after I obviously got my golden eye. I don't know if I had the Planet Ocean yet, but he would put on his Constellation and he was like, yeah, it's too big. And I was like, well, let me take it and the boutique was still around. So this was like at least 2 years ago and maybe more. And brought it into the Omega boutique. And I just said, can you take out like 2 links? I had him
Yeah.
my grandpa put it on. I was like, he needs 2, then went out there. The guy was in the back. You would have thought he was like trying to break concrete, pounding and pounding and pounding with that mallet. And then he comes out like huffing and whose watch you say this was? I was like, it's my grandpa's. He's like, is your grandpa like a handy guy? I was like, yeah. He's like, there's like 8 different types of pins in this fucking watch.
Oh my
Oh yeah, he's
God.
like, grandpa like did some DIY and he nailed it, because I promise you he made pins. I guarantee it. He
Oh
is
my
that guy. He
God.
is like, I will fix it myself. So yeah,
Wow. What a boss.
it needs a full
Tune up.
$750 tune up. for in
Is
Switzerland
it is
for
is
sure.
it is it an automatic or is it,
No, it's quartz. It's
quartz? I
quartz.
think quartz is 3 or 400.
Oh, it's not bad. I
I
mean,
don't
it's
know.
white dial. It's two-tone, it's white dial.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's probably a
I don't know if I'd
35.
polish that though, man. That's got his life on there, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I struggle with that. I just sent in my first Omega, and
Oh, the one from
unfortunately,
your dad, yeah.
yeah, so unfortunately, I had sent the bracelet and had it refinished, and I shouldn't have. I was like, "Maybe I should just keep this one, like, how it was."
Yeah, yeah.
But it's one of those watches where it looks really good if it's, like,
Mhm,
pristine order, so I was
mhm.
just like, "Well, I did the bracelet, like, fuck it. I'll just do it." So I did an overhaul on it. I did new
Yeah.
bezel ring, new bezel insert, new crystal, and I'm just like, "Oh, it looks like night and day different than
Is that
what it
one
did."
quartz or automatic? It's
It's
automatic,
automatic.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so that was
coaxial.
over 700 for that shit.
Yeah, that James it's the James Bond collector's piece. They released it
Black
when,
dial.
Quantum came out. It wasn't the one with the it wasn't the Planet Ocean, it was the diver.
Yeah. So does
So,
that have the 007, like, a bunch of them on
counterweight.
the
No, it's just a counterweight in red, and then
oh,
it
on
has
the
black
secondhand?
lacquer instead of waved.
Yeah,
So
okay.
super, super sleek looking little watch. Probably wear
Yeah,
it tomorrow now.
yeah. It is a beautiful watch.
Well, guy, you got some homework. You
Yep.
gotta watch some Mission Impossible and watch Dune with your popcorn bucket.
Mhm.
Extra
And my
butter.
Lubriderm.
No popcorn.
Just some butter.
Just some bitter, just to
I'm
set the
lactose
tone.
intolerant, though, you never know. Maybe it'll seep in, give me diarrhea. We're back, baby. We're
Maybe we're
motherfucking
back.
back. Well, guy, this was fun.
Catch It was. Catch you on the
This was
next
really
one.
fun. Sounds good, buddy.